Yeah, you already know who it is, man. Gwinnett Song, X Malone, and I'm checking in the middle of downtown, boy. You feel me? I got one of the dopest spots in Atlanta that you probably don't even know about. It's right across the street from the aquarium, World of Coca-Cola, and a number of other things around the city of Atlanta. We get ready to step into another dope episode of Black Owned at the Cigar Shop, Trilogy ATL. Alright, man, Gwinnett Song, man. I done traveled all around the city. I done went by the World of Coca-Cola, man. I done went by, downtown, the Justice Building and everything.
No doubt.
Everywhere, a little piece of Atlanta, man, to find this jewel in the city. Gwinnett Song, X Malone, checking in one time for another Black Owned episode, and I'm here with my dog, John. Trilogy ATL, cigars in the building. What's up, man? How are you?
Man, I can't call it welcome to the zoo, man.
Man, I love the ambiance that you have here set. I know JB probably panning around and showing you some of these, beautiful pictures and artwork that's hanging up. I love the mood you done set here, man. I love it.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I can't take all the credit. My partner Henry, he's the one that kind of laid out here in Ty. But we tried to create a more modern vibe. We so many of us smoke cigars, and not a lot of people cater to us. So we want to bring the experience our way, make it vibey, moody,
I like that.
The zoo.
In Atlanta, and this is so quintessential to be in Atlanta, man, because it's always the movers and shakers from out of Atlanta that's doing it first, especially how we building the culture here now.
Yeah, Atlanta influences everything.
It is. So for y'all to be kind of like spearheading a situation like this is big news, man. Big news.
I appreciate it.
We gonna get into a lot into this interview. We gonna get into the logo. We gonna get into how everything started. But first, I want you to look into America's eyes and tell them where you came up with this idea to kind of set the tone for cigar smokers.
Well, the Atlanta is the #1 cigar market in the United States. Not a lot of people know that.
Wow.
But again, not a lot of places cater to what I feel like is our experience when we get cigars.
Sure.
You get a lot of smoky lounges, brown leather chairs. Not knocking that. Every lounge has its own vibe.
Yeah.
But we wanted to bring a little something different to the city, man, and we wanted to, just kind of bring a little bit of class, a little bit of style, a little bit of elegance, a little vibe, and really kind of get it going. And that's what Trilogy's about. My partner Henry and Ty, they had the vision to kind of bring a world vibe to Atlanta. When you travel throughout the world, especially overseas, you see a lot of these different lounges. You see them, how they reflect the culture of where they're at.
Very true.
And one of the things that we found in Atlanta is that not really too many lounges reflected what Atlanta really is. It's a melting pot of different styles, a lot of different vibes, and just a lot of different energy that we can bring into one space.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I absolutely love about this space is depending on where you're sitting, what you're looking at, it can give you a whole different look.
Wow.
We got the gold wall, we have the red chandelier, we got the bird's nest up there where I like to go hide out on the weekend evenings. And you just kind of, if you want to duck off and have a quiet conversation, if you want to be down in the mix, we bring that all in one space. So it's a lot to cram into one space, but we do our best.
But I get the name, the zoo, because you take so much and you cram it in one little space. You can't do nothing to get perfection, man.
Hey, man, that's what we try to do.
I like that.
It's definitely a passion project, but we love it, man. It's the zoo. All of our cigars are zoo themed, and we actually make all of our own cigars.
Wow.
So we don't sell anybody's cigars outside of Trilogy Cigars inside this space.
Now that's big. Everybody out here that's trying to get into the cigar game, you can't get into the cigar game unless you get your weight up like Trilogy. You got to roll them bad boys yourself. You feel me? Now that's dope. I like that.
I appreciate it, man.
I like that. All right, so we got a lot set up. I see we got some cigars set up. Before we get into the cigars itself, let's get into like where the Trilogy logo came from, because I love this logo that we have, etched in here on this box. Where did this come from?
So that Trilogy logo, there's a fun story and the official story.
Oh shit!
Right.
There's two stories about anything.
It's two stories about anything.
It's got to be good. Let me take a sip real quick.
But deer are majestic, deer are regal, but deer are also brash when you look at a big, powerful buck.
Yeah, he's standing up. Stop.
He's standing. You got to pay attention to him. No matter what it is that you think about him, you got to pay attention to all of that energy and all that essence that they have.
True.
That deer, that golden deer, is our flagship brand. It's on a couple of our cigars. It's outside on the door. We got my man hanging out on the wall up here.
Dang, I like that.
It's just kind of that passion point to kind of hone it all in. It's our favorite animal of that zoo.
I like that.
It's
majestic.
It's majestic.
I believe the deer is like the real unicorn, bruh.
Hey man, you see that shelf on the deer? It give you everything you need, man.
I like that. So who came up with that? Was that just something y'all came up with collectively, or did somebody had a vision just to see that?
That was Henry and Ty, man. Those two guys, they're both creatives. They work in film and music, and a lot of this, what you see, is them.
That's amazing.
I focus more on our blends, on our product, because I'm a cigar geek. That's kind of what I am.
True that.
And Henry and Ty, they're the vibe masters. They laid this out, they put it together on a shoestring budget, and they worked a lot of magic. So hats off to those guys.
Man, so since I'm here with the mad scientists, shout out to Henry and Ty, but I'm here with the mad scientist, my man John. Let's get into these cigars.
All right, man. So what you got in your hand, that's our golden deer with a natural wrapper. So our golden deer is a Dominican Puro, so it's just all straight Dominican tobacco. It's going to be creamy, a little woody, with some very, very light spice. It's a nice morning smoke with coffee, first of the day smoke. It's not going to bang your palate too much.
True.
It's one that if you don't smoke cigars, it's not going to be too overpowering for you. If you do smoke cigars, you'll appreciate the nuances of it.
True. All right, and what you got lined up for you?
So, I came and I have our golden deer in the Maduro. This one is also a Dominican Puro, but we have a little bit stronger, more aged tobacco in here.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a little bit more pepper, a little bit more leather. This is going to be my second cigar today. So, you need a little bit more flavor to come in and kick for you.
Man, all right, so let me paint the situation right now. We are downtown Atlanta, right in the middle of everything, and we're here at Trilogy Lounge on a very exclusive black-owned episode. I'm Gwinnett Song X Malone, checking in for the Innovative Black Station. I'm here with John. Man, let's get into the culture of cigars, because I got a question. I see the cigar here now. It's rolled to an end tip like this.
Yeah.
But I know in the OG movies, you used to see somebody, I know it, not for cutting cigars.
Right.
I know if cutting a ninja hand off when they done messed around in the mafia and they stick your hand in the thing and
In that cigar cutter, that razor sharp cutter.
yeah, what is that for with the whole cutting the tip off?
So what we have here, cigars come in a whole lot of different shapes and sizes.
Okay.
Right? You have Parejos, Belicosos, Coronas. It's a lot of jargon. There's as many sizes as there are people.
Okay.
But a lot of those sizes have basic names. So the basic name on this size is a torpedo. Right.
Okay, I can see the.
Yeah, you see the torpedo. That's what it looks like. So the torpedo tip. One of the things people like about it is that it's tapered at the end, so it makes it easier to hold, clench between your teeth in your mouth. And that cigar cutter is just to cut that tip so you can have that open flow of air.
True.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
Does it matter how far you cut down deep on it?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. It definitely matters how deep you cut down.
Okay, so what's the proper for these new jacks that's out here?
If you take a look at your cigar, and you guys may not be able to see this on camera.
Oh, they can see it.
But
JB got it shooting in HD right now.
Okay. We in HD over here. So if you look, you'll see what's called the flag, right? Because torpedo cigars don't have a cap. Regular cigars, Parejos, they'll have a cap, and you just look for that shoulder to cut. Here you'll see where the tobacco transitions. Okay. Right here, it goes from a diagonal roll to a straight roll. That's called the flag. What you want to do when you cut is cut just slightly above that flag. If you cut below the flag, the cigar will unravel.
Oh.
And if you cut too shallow, the draw will be too tight.
Oh. So that's important.
That's important.
That's important for y'all cats out here. Now I'm gonna be on the official cigar check when I be seeing these cats out here at the club acting like you Tony Montana. I be like, boy, you don't know what you doing, boy. You done cut that thing too short.
You done cut it too short, you can't pull out of it. And what happens? Everything you do with a cigar impacts its flavor, right?
Wow.
So if you don't cut it deep enough, the cut is too shallow. You have to pull harder to get the smoke.
True.
As you pull harder, the cigar will get hotter. As it gets hot, it'll get bitter, right? So what you want about a cigar is a nice, cool smoke. That's going to allow the flavors to come through and you to have a really enjoyable experience.
So we here. I'm gonna let you cut mine, bro, cause
Now, I'm going to let you cut your own. I'm going to show you, and then we go learn, trial by fire.
okay. So we getting into it.
All right?
Trial by fire. He said I can't cut mine. He ain't gonna cut mine. I gotta snip my own. I gotta get myself my own nip tuck on my.
So you have a lot of different ways you can cut a cigar, right?
Okay.
You have guillotine cutters, which give you a nice straight cut. You have punches. You have V cutters as well, which cut a nice little notch in the head of the cigar. Typically, when you're smoking a torpedo, you'll want to use a straight cut.
Okay.
So if you use a straight cut, you either gonna have a guillotine cutter, or what we have today, we have some scissors.
Okay.
Right. The most important thing about your cutter is that it's razor sharp, because you don't want to crush the tobacco, tear it, and it start flaking.
Sure.
Right. So you want to line it up where you go cut it. I'm gonna notch mine about right here,
Okay.
and then you want to be precise and quick, because if you cut it slow, you'll crush the leaf, and it'll unravel. Right. So as soon as you line it up, just go give it a nice hard snip, and get a nice clean cut.
Oh snap! Now
All
I
right.
got to do the same thing.
You got it. I got faith in you, bro.
Where's Lorena Bobbitt when you need her? Sheesh. All right, and I got to do it in the dish.
Yeah, you want to drop it in the dish.
All right, in the big part. All right, here we go, JB. We making it work right now.
There you go.
All right, not too far up, right?
Not too far, because you
This
don't
is
want to
mine.
cut past that flag.
All right, so I'm gonna go right there. I like
There you
living.
go.
I like living on the edge.
Hey,
baby.
live dangerously, man. There you go. Bang. We in there. All right.
See, y'all ain't a player like me, man.
Now, cigars are much like food, wine, liquor. It's an entire experience, right? There you go, right? So the first thing you want to do, you want to smell your cigar.
I see people doing that. That's why.
You want to smell it, kind of get that aroma of that leaf, right? All of these things are going to impact the taste when we get to lighting. So you smell that wrapper, get your notes off of that. Off of that one, you're probably getting a little bit of wood, a lot of little cedar on that one, which I really like.
I can
Then you
smell
want to
that.
take that in, go to your nostril, smell that. It'll
It is
help
a
if you
little
close
different.
one nose.
It is a little different smell
One
than
nostril.
just.
Yeah.
I mean, because I guess it is you smelling tobacco versus the wrap.
Right. So the wrapper leaf is a lot more delicate. It can be aromatic. It's the most expensive leaf on the cigar. It's the prize leaf on the cigar. Right. So then you have inside your filler. In your filler, you'll have viso, seco. Those are all just different parts of the leaf, depending on when they pull them off. And you also have the ligero. Ligero gives you strength, right? The ligero is what you really smell when you put the foot to your nose, because that's going to exude a little bit of spice. Sometimes it can come
Aight.
off a little raisiny or
Okay.
something like that, but you'll
I feel the twinkle in my
smell
nose,
that spice.
brother.
Next thing you'll want to do is take a cold draw, right? All a cold draw is a puff, just like you were smoking without the fire. So you start picking up some flavors like that.
So
Not
why
yet,
is it
we ain't even
important?
got the smoke yet.
I know it. They finna tear my lungs up, bro. You know I got them virgin lungs. But what's the point of doing the cold drag? What's that?
Right? So as the tobacco heats up, the flavors are going to change.
Okay.
Right? But the cold draw will give you a inkling, a kind of inside look at what the tobacco actually tastes like before that fire comes to it and it starts to change.
Okay.
Right? So the notes that you pick up on the cold draw may not mean anything to you right now, but as you start to smoke, now that you've done that, you have a frame of reference. It'll start to manifest itself.
Jesus.
Right? And the last thing you want to do is take your hand in front of your cigar like this. And this is a beautiful tip that I found out from a good friend of mine named Erica. Take your hand over and take that cold draw again. that tastes a little bit different, right? Now, we've smelled the wrapper, we've smelled the filler, we've taken a couple of cold draws, right? You have a pretty good idea of what that actual tobacco tastes like.
I can taste it.
You can taste it, right? Now, once we light it up, all of that is going to be expressed in the smoke. All right?
So it's very important for you to at least take a cold drag of your cigar
Yes.
before you light it to set your palate
Yes.
for what you're about to experience.
That was beautifully put.
I like that. I appreciate that, brother.
No doubt.
We here, Black on. Let's do it, brother. I'm excited.
All right, one more thing to remember. When you smoke cigars, if you're smoking cigars for the first time, the number one rule in smoking a cigar is do not inhale.
Don't inhale.
Don't take it to the chest. If you inhale, everybody's going to know.
So for all my weed heads out here, don't hit it like you smoking the doobie.
Don't face it.
No, don't face it. Don't face it. This is for players only right now.
There you go.
All right, cool.
All right, so we got our torch,
Nah, I ain't gonna touch mine.
and we're just going to go. We're going to roast the foot, warm up that tobacco a little bit. See the smell is starting to get a little fragrant. And once you got a nice little toast to the foot, you come in and you're going to light, puff, rotate.
Oh, that's player. That's player. Oh, snap. Y'all see how you gave me that? All right, let's see if I can get it. So what we gonna do is start with the round part of the foot.
Yep, so once you click the torch, go ahead and click the torch and keep it pretty far away. You can actually back it away a little bit. You just want a little bit of that heat to hit that leaf.
Okay.
Start toasting it. You'll see it start to char.
Okay, I see it.
You're warming it up. It's almost like caramelizing an onion to unlock more flavor.
Oh, okay, caramelizer.
And then once you got a nice toast, then you'll want to actually puff to go ahead and light your cigar. And just puff, rotate until you have a nice even light. Now what you just did there, smoking a cigar, as not a cigar smoker, you did something that most of us intermediate experienced cigar smokers do to pick up new flavor, which is called a retrohale. When you take the smoke in and you blow it out of your nose, it'll release floral notes, light spices, things like that. So that's another tasting element that you have in there.
For y'all cats out here that already is smoking, give the person you stole their lighter back, give it back to him.
Please.
Please.
Please. Whoever's got mine, bring it back.
That's an inside joke about smokers, you know what I mean? All right, so I seen you blow the butt of it after you kept it lit.
Right, and
What's
that was
the
just to make
significance?
sure. That was just to make sure I had a nice even light. Because if your light is uneven, it'll affect the burn all the way through your stick. You can start getting tunneling, canoeing, all type of burn issues. So I just did that so that the cherry would illuminate, so that I can make sure that I had an even light all the way through and a nice straight burn line. Plus.
Now that we sit back and we pull on these fine cigars, Trilogy Lounge down here in Atlanta, connected to the world famous Sweet Lounge.
Yes. So anybody out there, if you're ever wondering, walking around the streets to find Trilogy, because I like to call it Atlanta's best kept secret.
It is.
You got to know to know. It's right next door. It's actually attached to Sweet Food Lounge. Just walk around the building until you see that golden deer up on the wall and come on in and have a smoke with us.
I appreciate you bringing me into your world here at the zoo. Like, to come here, be able to light up one of these bad boys, free your mind a little bit.
Kick back and relax. That's what it's about.
You got TVs flowing in and out, so you can watch the game, Super Bowl, baby shower, bar mitzvah, you know what I'm saying, nip tuck parties.
We do all that. We do all that. Listening parties. Everything that our culture does and appreciates in your everyday life, we like to celebrate it here at Trilogy. You come in, and one of the things about us with Trilogy, where that actual name comes from, is the pairing of food, spirits, and cigars.
Wow.
And that's what we like to excel with here. So you come in, we'll bring you up with a cigar that we made. We'll pair it up with a nice drink and a nice dish. And you can sit back and enjoy and celebrate life because it's worth celebrating.
Man, well, I've totally enjoyed it. I want you to tell the people, give me your address, tell them where they can find you at. We right down here, city of Atlanta. We right by everything. I can look out the window and see, the aquarium, man.
See the whale shark swimming on the wall over there.
I thought I was in the ocean. Y'all didn't hear me. I thought I was in the ocean. This is crazy. Give me the address, man. Tell them where you at.
375 Luckie Street, Suite B, Atlanta, Georgia, right downtown, across from the Georgia Aquarium, next to Sweet Food Lounge.
Man, and it is a beautiful establishment. If you're in town, Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Out with your homegirls.
Oh yeah.
Stopping through. Shoot. Hey, Hartsville Jackson ain't too far. You can catch you a little Uber over here and smoke your little cigar real quick.
Or jump on the MARTA. There's 3 train stations within 4 blocks. So, you can do that. You can come down and,
Hey, if you live in Atlanta all the time, they always tell you, MARTA is smarter.
MARTA smarter, man.
All right, give me your IG. Tell them where they can follow you at.
So you can follow us on Trilogy ATL on Instagram. That's for the lounge. Our actual cigar company is Trilogy Cigar Company on Instagram. And you can also check us out at trilogycigarcompany.com for the cigar side of the business. And trilogyatl.com for the lounge.
Man, I hope you continue on your endeavors, man. I pray God continue to bless you.
Thank you.
With knowledge on what you're doing, and that you not only do what you're doing for you and your generation, but for the generation coming after you.
I appreciate that.
Because they definitely need something to hold on to.
I appreciate that. That's what we're about, bringing the culture forward.
Appreciate it, man.
No doubt.
On that song, X Malone checking in right here, Innovative Black Station, with another dope episode of Black On. I'm here with my man John, Trilogy ATL. We're going to check out JB roll them credits, bruh.